Hi everyone, welcome to Play Hooky with me. My name is Roz. I hope everyone's doing great today. Today's video is all about the join as you go method with corner to corner, and I am fascinated by this. I couldn't wait to share it with you guys. I know it's been around for a long time, but for me it personally couldn't come at a better time because I'm wanting to work on a gingham style project, and so I thought it would be fun to just share with you some things that I've learned along the way, just in case you this is new to you too, or if you're going around surfing and looking for videos on this. I always love to find multiple videos to get different perspectives. So to start off this series, I'm going to start with the initial block here, and that is because it is slightly different from what you might be used to if you have done a C2C before. If you're familiar with the slip stitching as you're decreasing, you won't be doing that with this one. We will be doing a chaining, a chain of 3, and I want to show that to you before we even get started with how to do the join as you go. As always, I will put timestamps below so that you can jump to your point of interest. And if C2C is new to you, or you're interested in seeing some of the other variations or the different techniques for this, I do have a video that I created recently, and I'll put it in a card here and also at the end of the video so you can go and see the different ways that you can build and make your corner to corner blocks or tiles. Otherwise, yeah, let's go ahead and get started and play some hooky. To get started, I'm going to use the classic style to build my tiles and blocks. That is where I'll be using the chain 6 for the increases and chain 3 for the turning chains. You may be more interested in the modern version, which is chain 5 for your increase and chain 2 for your turning chain. It really depends on what yarn you're using or what you're used to doing. But I'll talk more about that here when we get a little bit closer to this. But for now, I'm going to use a chain 6 to get started. 4, 5, 6. 4 from the hook or 3 up. I'm going to do my first double crochet. And then my second, and my third. I think I'm just going to go through the whole process here just in case you're new to C2C and you're seeing this for the first time. Okay, and at this point, you just do your usual pattern. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I like to count 3 from the bottom to do my 3 double crochets. And as always, I will put the UK equivalent for the terminology here. I am using US terminology. Okay, now I have what look like 2 feet. I'm going to flip 1 foot around and then join it with a slip stitch at the top in that turning chain space. Now I am on row 2 still. This was row 1. I'm on row 2, so I'm going to finish now with a chain 3 to complete this row. Chain 3, and now 3 more double crochets, totaling 4 posts. Okay, row 3, I'm starting a new row, so I count up 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And we're just going to continue this until we get to row 4. And I will meet you here again at row 4. Right, so we've finished our 4 rows, and now it's time to close it in and make our square. And this is where it is a little bit different from what you may be used to. Now, having said that, this is actually the way I initially learned when I was learning how to do corner to corner. It wasn't until I watched more videos that I saw that people were actually slip stitching across with their decreases. But the very first video I ever watched, they used the chain 3 method that I'm going to show you here. We're getting ready to close our square, so we don't want to build anymore. We want to start reducing. So instead of building with a 6, we're going to chain 3 here. And then we're going to turn our work and we're going to slip stitch into the turning chain space here. Okay, and then that has moved us over to continue on to decrease and start closing in our square. Now this is important because this is what we're going to be using for our join as you go method when we are adding or connecting our blocks together. This is why we're doing this. You will not be doing any slip stitching on the edges for your decreases here. Okay, so now we chain 3 and we build our tile or our block as normal as we work our way to the other corner. All right, so I'm at the end here and I'm slip stitching as I normally would, but instead of increasing, I'm working on decreasing now because I'm closing my square. So at this point again, this is where I chain 3, 2, 3, turn my work over and slip stitch into the side. And that is it. And we just keep doing this back and forth. Every time we come to the end, instead of a slip stitch, we do a chain 3. And like I was saying earlier, this is what you will do for whichever variation of corner to corner you like to do. If you like to do the chain 5, chain 2, same thing, you'll do the chain 3. The only time I would actually recommend that you do a chain 2 instead is if you're doing the extra mini where you are only building 3 posts total. Then you would only need probably 2 chains to get across for your decreasing. And we are nearly done. Easy peasy, lemon squeezy. And one more in there. Chain 3 because we're decreasing. 2, 3, turn and slip stitch into your turning chain space. And we have one more square to go. Slip stitch and you're nearly finished. I just recommend that you want to get back over to the corner, so go ahead and chain 3. Turn your work one more time and slip stitch into that corner and you are finished. And now it's at this point that I highly recommend that you get your stitch marker while you have the tail here on the corner that you can see where you began and where you ended. Go ahead and put the stitch marker on the front of your work to remember where you started. It will come in handy for you when you start joining here because just like the graph GAN style, you will get confused as you're going back and forth, and this helps out greatly. Okay, so that's it for this video. I'm going to go ahead and link to video 2 now so you can see how to go ahead with the joining of these squares. Thanks for watching and playing hooky with me, guys. We'll see you soon.